You're looking at Michael Scott, Scranton Community College's newest student. After months of hard work, SCC has accepted me, and I have graciously accepted them. Now, Phyllis, I'm nurturing my genius.
Michael, ever since you started this stupid community college class, you haven't been approving any of our budget proposals.
Excuse me, this stupid class? People in this office need more respect for great literature. It has come to my attention that people in this office don't appreciate the beauty of great literature. From now on, I will be starting a Dunder Mifflin book club. And now I will assign you books and vocab to go over, and we will discuss them in the next week. Hopefully, we can all acquire some more appreciation for great literature and become a little more cultured around here.
He gave me The Catcher in the Rye. What a saucy book. If this is what youths were like in the 50s, I wonder what they're up to now.
1984. Orwell is a political genius. I've already implemented parts of his doctrine around the office.
Dwight? What are you doing? Dwight!
Death of a Salesman seems to be about an unsuccessful traveling salesman, unsatisfied with the boring life in the suburbs. But me, I'm an office paper salesman, apathetic about a life in a mid-sized city. It didn't hit home at all.
Oh my god, Life of Pi. Maybe this is Michael's way of apologizing to me for totally dissing my culture. Too bad I didn't actually read it.
The Crucible. You know, it's too bad those Puritans couldn't finish their jobs. I think the devil magic has spread. I've been observing Kelly for quite a while now. I'm pretty sure she's a witch. That demonic youth music she listens to? And what is a Harambe? I don't know, but it sounds dark.
I chose Macbeth. You know, I relate to Macbeth a lot. We've both had to strong-arm our way into leadership. Him in the bloody wars of Scotland, and me in the cutthroat corporate world of paper sales. Okay, everyone, let's go around and share our literary insights. I'll go first. Macbeth is a tale of redemption, ambition, and murder. This book, this play, basically describes my life, and here are some blank verses to prove it. Life is a tale, told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Shakespeare also gives some great life advice. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. Sometimes he also uses caesura, which is a pause between words. For example, I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is but none. And also a cacophony, which is a discordant mixture of sounds put together. Hear the loud alarm bells, brazen bells. What tale of terror does their turbulency tell? And of course, what corporate doesn't understand is that fair is foul, and foul is fair. This is a chiasmus, or a reversal of words put together to produce a dramatic effect. And look what I found! Shakespeare even references the Harry Potter movies in a closed couplet, which is two rhyming verses put together. Right here. Double, double, toil and trouble, cauldron burn, and fire burn, and cauldron bubble. Yes. And this final closed couplet, hopefully it speaks to you. Come what come may, time and hour do run through the roughest day. But what day could be so rough with such literary excitement? Now, Angela, do share the crucible with us.
Arthur Miller wrote an excellent guide to detecting the witches and sinful spirits that live amongst us. For example, witches often use circular reasoning to defend themselves against the pure. Circular reasoning is when the premise of your dishonest arguments rely on the assumption that the conclusion is true. For example, the evil witch Martha Corey says, I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch is. If I were, I would know it. The equally disgusting woman Elizabeth Proctor says, if you think that I am one, then I say that there are none. She lied to a preacher. All these satanic lies build to the climax, the point of the biggest tension in the story. This is when John Proctor rips up his confession and is rightfully hanged for witchcraft. You know, it's too bad that we're not allowed to execute witches anymore. But we have other ways of ridding them out.
This is 1984, a piece of political genius. I don't read a lot of political philosophy very often, but this really spoke to me. It's about a perfect society, one that I have tried to create here in this very office. The weakness in 1984, just like in here, is the people, myself excluded, of course. We as paper producers sometimes forget the power of words. As Overlord Orwell says, if thought corrupts language, language can corrupt thought. It's a chiasmus, you should know what that is. Some of you might find a character to identify with in this book, particularly Winston, the traitorous thought criminal. He's described by Overlord Orwell. The flat was 7 flights up, and Winston, who was 39 and had a varicose ulcer above his right ankle, went slowly, resting several times along the way. That was characterization, the process by which an author reveals the personality of a character. In this case, Winston, the weak and pathetic shell of a man. Reminds me of a few of you around here.
Death of a Salesman, and I'm a salesman. But this is definitely not going to be me, though. You know, Dunder Mifflin is just a job for me, and I'm very satisfied here selling paper.
And?
There's a clause. There are many clauses. Like here, at the beginning when Willie said, I'm tired to the death, it has a subject and a predicate, so it's a clause. And sales is really tiring and I'm really tired, but I'm definitely not tired to death. Certainly not to death. But you know, sometimes I do wonder, why am I here? Like this Loman guy. I totally get him, even when he's using cetera. You can't eat the orange and throw a peel away. A man is not a piece of fruit. Like, am I just an orange?
So this was like a really cool book about animals and humans and water. Ooh, notable quotes. The merest clicking of claws against the bottom of the boat. Okay, this book was totally scary. Apparently that quote's an example of a cacophony, like butt ugly sounds. Without Richard Parker, I wouldn't be alive today to tell you my story. I guess that's an example of a clause. I'm not sure. I don't really know what a predicate is. Whatever. Oh my god. I think the climax happens when that dude Richard Parker is like, peace out, and totally ditches that pie dude in Mexico. That's like so rude. I hope this never happens to me. Ryan, would you ever do this? Ryan!